Page 1. The Broken Sigil. Before the glyphs were studied, they were spoken. Whispers carved into the fold by those who could breathe the code itself. But now, the world has forgotten. Until one boy cracked the silence. Viraxis Ascendancy Saga. Episode 1. The Broken Sigil. Beneath the city of Kaen, where light barely touches stone, a boy trains in silence. Born glyphless, ranked last, and mocked by every academy gate, he still breathes. His name is Kaen Ryze, and no matter how the world ignores him, he will be chosen.
I have to get stronger. The entrance exam is coming up.
Still training hard, Kaen.
Yeah, I'm not going to fall behind the others.
Fate does not always knock. Sometimes it carves through stone. As Kaen trains in shadows, the fold beneath him begins to stir. A glyph not seen in 1,000 cycles pulses from below. Drawn by instinct, his steps cross ancient design, and the moment he breathes, sudden tone shift, sharp rumbling. The world breaks. Kaen.
Whoa!
Glyph begins humming, VMMM. Kaen, narrating quietly.
Is this?
Crumble. Kaen, falling, softly.
Yeah.
Beneath the broken floor of Kaen lies something older than the city itself. A chamber not built, but whispered into form, sealed by silence and the breath of those who once shaped the fold. And now, it stirs again. Kaen Ryze, glyphless and forgotten, has awakened it. Pulse swell sound begins to rise, and it has awakened him. Kaen regains consciousness and finds himself in an ancient chamber infused with glyphs. Builder glyph faintly glows on his chest. Kaen, thinking silently. No words, breath catches, realization begins. WUMMM, glyph core activates. While one boy falls into legend, another rises through structure. High above Kaen, in the fortress city of Arcos Academy, the strongest glyph wielders train for ascension. Among them is Dai Solren. Perfect form, lineage born, crowned by sunfire glyphs. But even he feels it, a ripple in the fold, a pulse that should not exist. Elsewhere, the strongest glyph warriors train to ascend. No words, visual of defeated trainees in Glyph Simulator. Day, thinking silently. Eyes shift toward the rising glyph field. When the known systems fail, the fold responds. Scanners detected nothing familiar, no registered pulse, no glyph data. And yet, something ancient moved beneath Kaen's skin. Pause as glyph pulses faintly. To the Academy, he is an anomaly, but to one cloaked watcher, he is a memory. A sigil seen once, long before the records were erased. Unregistered glyph, Kaen is brought to Arcos Academy for further investigation. Pulse signature, unknown. Glyph, unregistered. Cloaked figure.
Bring him in. I've seen that sigil before.
Arrival at Arcos. He awoke not in chains, but in the sky. Through a ship of silence and glass, the world below vanished, and the citadel of glyphs appeared. Arcos Academy, floating in the fold stream, forged by resonance, feared by nations. To most, it is a temple of mastery. To Kaen, It is the first place to look at him and not see nothing. But the truth waiting inside will break more than just silence.
What is this place?
They call it the City of Glyphs, a sky temple where the chosen rise. But not all who arrive feel welcome. He walks among them, breath steady, but their eyes slice sharper than blades. No glyph, no lineage. To them, Kaen is a mistake the gate forgot to close. Kaen looks around. Others whisper and stare.
What year is it? They're letting glyphless orphans in now?
Maybe they'll let my pet in next year.
Every initiate must show their glyph. Some burn bright, others flicker with promise. But one shows nothing. De Solren, flawless, a glyph born in gold. Beat. Kaen Ryze breathes in. The glyph reader hums and finds nothing. Silence lingers like shame. In that moment, even the air refuses to call him real. Instructor.
De Solren, you're next.
De's glyph ignites. Golden aura flares. Examiner.
Pass!
Instructor. All right. Your turn. Kaen.
Got it.
Scanner display. Unable to detect valid glyph. Some fall in battle, others fall in silence. Kaen Ryze stood where legends once ignited and sparked nothing. Their words were sharp, their laughter louder than the scanner. But inside Kane's chest, something moved, not seen, not scanned, but real. Beat. Wind rises faintly, then stillness. The fold remembers what the world forgets. Student mocking.
I knew it. He's hopeless without a glyph. Ha ha ha.
Kaen, frustrated.
No, this can't be happening. I know I felt something.
Onlookers.
Shh. That's a waste of time.
Whisper. Loser. Kaen walks away, head low. Humiliation fades, but the breath remains. That night, beneath the stars and judgment, Kaen Ryze does not rest. No teacher, no guide, just fists and fury. He doesn't know what a glyph is supposed to feel like, but he knows what's inside him isn't nothing. One breath, one strike, and something answers. That night, Kaen trains alone. Kaen, panting,
I know I have power inside me.
punches through the air. Fwish. Glyph flickers on hand.
Huh?
Glyph pulses faintly in the background. It starts as a flicker, a pulse without pattern. The world calls it noise, but the fold calls it memory. Beat, glyph, flash sound. In a single breath, Kane's strike meets the unseen, and the glyph responds. Not with shape, not with light, but with a fracture. And somewhere, someone watches. The glyph answers once, then demands silence. A second pulse tears through Kane's body, not energy, but memory. The floor cracks. The fold beneath the academy stirs. But Kaen collapses, unconscious, unclaimed, and watched. Kaen, gasping,
It's happening again.
glyph pulse, wum kirsch, Kaen, falling.
Can't hold.
Not all glyphs shine. Some remain buried. In vaults the world forgot. Deep beneath Arcos, cloaked watchers stir. Their eyes are not flesh, but glyphs that remember. And one of them has seen this before. Beat, glyph pulse. They send a whisper to the vault core. The broken sigil has breathed again. Cloaked Watcher 1.
Scan his pattern again.
Dusra. Cloaked Watcher 2.
No match. But the pulse, it's identical to the Forbidden Fold.
Central Glyph Eye. Glowing. Vault AI. Telepathic glyph code. Signal. Builder glyph. Unsealed. De Solren. First of his class.
His glyphs respond to thought.
His pulse never falters. Until now. In the solitude of his meditation chamber, something breaks the stillness. Beat, glyph rings, distort. A tremor in the fold. A pattern he does not recognize, but cannot ignore. Day, closed eyes, meditating.
One breath, one glyph.
Sudden pulse disturbs the glyph ring. Whom? Day, eyes opening.
What was that?
Quiet, almost too calm, like a moment stolen from time. Before Arcos, before the fall, there was a house in the outlands and 2 children who read glyphs not with rank, but with wonder. Kaen remembers her hands, how she traced the scroll and whispered, "Don't ever let them see this." Beat, memory fades like breath on glass. That was the last time he saw her. Young Kaen.
What does this one mean?
Kane's sister.
Shh. Some glyphs aren't meant to be spoken.
Kaen.
But it glows when I touch it.
Sister. Serious.
Exactly. Hide it.
Kaen. Present day, murmuring in sleep.
Lani.
He wakes, not to alarms, but to silence. The infirmary smells of old steel and pressed linen, but the hum in his chest doesn't belong. His palm aches. Something stirs just beneath the skin. The world called him glyphless, but the fold has already chosen him. Nurse, off panel.
Vitals steady. He'll wake soon.
Kaen, eyes opening.
Where?
Kaen, looking at hand.
It's still glowing.
Monitor display. Glitchy pulse readout. Non-standard glyph signature. High above the student halls, the headmaster watches more than scores. She reads the field. She sees the pulses between lies. Kane's file reads nullfold, but the scan tells another story. Glyphs swirl on screen. She orders silence and assigns a shadow. Observation only. No contact. Not yet. Headmaster.
Replay the pulse signature.
Vault Tech.
It doesn't match any fold glyph, but it reacted to our core.
Headmaster.
Assign a watcher. Discreet.
Vault Techs. Tone. Silent friction. Tension in the stillness. No music, just air pressure. Not every clash begins with blades. Some begin with silence. 2 paths brushing like static. Day walks alone. Kaen staggers out of the infirmary. They say nothing, but in that breathless second, the fold listens. Kaen, walking out, dazed.
Hand still slightly glowing. While
Day, not stopping. Silent, focused expression. Kaen, inner thought.
why does he look at me like that?
Day, inner thought.
The glyph on his hand, it wasn't there before.
A name can chain you. They call him Nullfold now. No scan, no glyph, no worth. The Academy boys joke, the girls whisper, and none of them see the pulse forming behind his eyes. Glyph hum rises beneath laughter. Kaen doesn't flinch. He's heard worse.
He passed out again?
No glyph. What's he even doing here?
Maybe he's allergic to power.
Keep laughing. I'm still breathing.
Every exit from Arcos is sealed by a glyph gate. Only those with a pulse signature may pass. Tested, ranked, permitted. Kaen tries to walk away, but the fold does not open for quitters. Gate hums, then rejects. It doesn't care about his name, only his resonance. And right now, it says no. Kaen, approaching gate.
I'm done. This place isn't for me.
Security drone. Please present valid glyph imprint. Gate glyph. Buzzes, then glows red. Denied. Kaen.
Of course.
The world holds its breath with him. No glyph, no clearance, no exit. But the fold is older than their scanners, and Kaen remembers her voice. Flashback whisper, blends in. Breathe into it, not at it. So he breathes, not like a student, like a builder. Kaen, sighing.
It's not a lock. It's a pulse.
Kaen inhales slowly. No dialogue, focused. Gate glyph. Flickers once, light bends slightly. Security drone. Signature anomaly detected. It was never an exit. It was a test. The fold doesn't open outward. It draws you inward. Behind the gate, a sealed chamber awakens. Walls not built, but remembered. No lights, just glyphs. Just breathe, just truth. Security drone. Anomaly confirmed. Gate override triggered. Kaen.
What is this place?
Fold glyph wall. Glyphs pulse in builder sequence. 1-4-7-9. Kaen. Inner thought.
It knew I would come.
Beneath Arcos, before the academy was ever built, the builders carved their memories into living walls. Not with tools, not with tongues, but with breath and pulse. Kaen steps forward, and the sigil steps toward him. Kaen, walking in softly.
Is this what she was hiding?
Fold wall. Glyph begins to rise like steam from stone. Kaen, reaching toward it.
It's alive.
Sigil, voice in glyph form. Kaen. Like time folding inward. The glyph calls his name, not his title, not his scan rank, his true name. Kaen steps closer, unsure if he is walking forward or backward into memory. Pulse echo rises. The sigil breathes, and for the first time in centuries, a builder's pulse answers. Kaen.
You know me?
Living sigil. Kaen. Fold point 1-5-7-9. Kaen, clutching chest.
My pulse, it's sinking.
Fold wall, glowing. Glyphs swirl around him, initiating first breath sequence. Power was never the goal. It was the alignment. The moment the body and the fold agree. Kaen's pulse sinks, his breath stabilizes, and the resonance answers. Glyphs flare. Panels crack with energy. Walls don't contain it. The glyph lights flare across the city. And miles away, someone else feels it. Kaen, eyes wide, overwhelmed,
What's happening to me?
Fold chamber AI. Resonance surge detected. Stabilizing. Day, training alone, stops mid-punch. That pulse, it's him. Kaen, glowing, hovering slightly. I can hear everything. A whisper that reshapes fate. No glyph, no scan, but something older, something deeper. Kaen was never glyphless. He was unreadable because he was written by the fold itself. And as his pulse awakens, another pair of eyes watches from the dark. Kaen, surrounded by glowing glyphs.
It's like I've always known this.
Fold sigil, whispers, fold born. Day from shadows.